Welcome to the Seven Crosses series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 8th of November 2003. You can see our population is now pushing towards 56,000, so we're going to need to be a bit careful in managing our resources because the population is expanding so quickly. But before we get started, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. As usual, you guys give me so much to think about. Now, I did get a suggestion about rebuilding my bioplant. I used to have one up here, but I took it down in favor of another food factory up here. I'm not sure I want to rebuild another biofuel plant simply because I think I've now solved the fuel problem I had in the previous part. But what I am considering is that because the amount of food consumption is increasing, is possibly bringing this back online, but more from the perspective of exporting food, though we do have a little bit of a queue down here. But before that, what I want to do is run out this winter to see how much I've got in my various silos when the season is finished, and more importantly, whether I'm still not getting all the crops in. So that's going to be quite a big objective for this video. Now, the other comment I got was related to distribution offices, and I have to agree with the comment that my distribution offices are still in a little bit of a mess. And I think this is one of the problems with this game, that when you start out and you've just got a small town, there's a very great temptation to put distribution offices in and mix up the vehicles in it. But the problem is as the economy grows and gets bigger, it takes more and more time to sort the mess out. So I think going forward, and especially when the water update comes out and I start a new proper full-length series, I'm going to get a little bit more disciplined. And that also leads on to the rail distribution offices. Now, I realized that I kind of made a bit of a mistake when I first set these up, because I've got the trains in this area just trying to do too much. And of course, the distribution offices were also bolted onto an existing rail network. And I think that's going to give me a little bit of a headache from this series. Now I've got used to how the rail distribution offices works, I think it's quite important to try and specialize them, I think. And also, more importantly, say, like, have a situation like I've got up here in Ollerton, is if you've got a production area here, especially one that's producing a specific type of resource, what you really need is a dedicated distribution office attached to it, so that what you can do is put specific trains in here to move the fuel. And I think that was the root cause of my problem with the fuel distribution. And I think I've now solved the fuel side, but one thing I'm getting a little bit worried about is the fact I've got no oil coming in now. And we're kind of starting to, we've got missing oil now. And I think that's partly down because the import train is having to come in such a long way. Now, one thing I am half considering is whether I could get another rail distribution office up here, but the question is going to be is whether I can curve back that way. I'm just going to try this as a bit of a long shot. We'd have to kind of put it a bit something like that, wouldn't we? Then I'd have to pick the track off and double it back. So say for argument, I'm just going to give this a go. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's just the way it is. I'm probably going to mess that track up. And what I'm thinking is what I'm also experimenting with is the idea of running trains in on specific pathways. Maybe we could take that off like that and then run you into there. And what I'm liking is the fact, rather than having crossovers, is actually just putting in a line like that so that the inbound trains can come in and the outbound trains can go out the opposite way. But I think what I'll do is I'm just going to put this on so that we can see if we can get this built. And I mean, I don't have to build it. What I can do is just put that in as a provisional thing. We can put the rail connection in, and then if this distribution office gets overloaded, we can bring this one online. Because what I probably would like to do is eventually make this one into being responsible for sending all the fuel and bitumen across the map, and then maybe this one will take over responsibilities for coal and prefabs and other items coming into this area. I think that might work. So I'll be completely upfront. If I was going to redo this map, the rail network and, well, most of the map, I think the overall layout of the map would stay the same, but I think I'd certainly change the rail network and put a bit more thought into it. I'll just give you an update on what's going on up here. Well, it's very slow progress due to the distance, and we're literally still building in the roads here. And I think I made a bit of a mistake here with the fact that I'm building lit streets here. I think that was a, I mean, it will pay off dividends in the long term, but it's really slowing up the process of building in this town here. But I think at the moment we got a little bit of slack from that perspective. I mean, this area's come together quite nicely. We're getting a nice supply of gravel in here. We're filling this up with coal as well, so that's looking good. Now if we come down to, well, I've got to find it. The map's getting so cluttered now, I'm starting to lose where I'm meant to be. Over here we're getting very close now to being able to bring trains into this area, because the electrification is, I think electrification, I don't think I've done that rail there, but we electrified virtually all the way into here. So it's got there now. So I've got a feeling that the train here's run out of work. So but before we do anything, I just want to get in here. I think that's this retro components. Yep. Right, so we'll just go and find the what we call it, rail construction office. See if he's down to 2. I have considered getting another construction train, but I think at the moment they're just getting in each other's way. This guy is still, I think he's just moved on to the next bridge section. That's coming along quite nicely. One change I have made over here is what I've decided to do is actually electrify this line in. So I've redone all this line to the border so it can be electrified in, and hopefully that's going to work. And then what we'll do is we'll get this guy here, then we can hopefully get all this built in. I mean, we'll probably not get it finished in this video because I want to do this bit here and then electrify all the way out to, I think I've put a crossover here so that we can get this distribution office on. And then what this distribution office will do is take over responsibility for the clothes and fabric distribution. At the moment I've got a little bit of a log jam with respect to fabric here, but I think we'll be okay because this is now starting to produce. We probably need some more workers out here, but I think we're okay at the moment. I think these guys can still get more in there. And of course, what I want to do is just build up a quite a big pile here in preparation for when the railway comes in. If we go over to, and of course, we're also exporting fabric down to here, and started producing the first trucks here, the covered holes here. And one thing I am going to be quite interested in is sewing. I just wonder if there's any really good tractors or anything like that. Let's have a look at speed. Got this tractor here, which is pretty good, 35 tons. I think that's the fastest one of the lot. I think I've just purchased the blueprint as well by accident. Let me just see. What have we got? Interesting. Oh no. Yeah, I bought one of these by accident. Didn't really intend to do that. That was a bit. I think what we'll do is we're going to queue up I think if we can build 4 of these, and then our 2, 3. That was 5, wasn't it? And if we can get those done by the spring, because we're only on the 19th of November at the moment, I could probably send them, if I could get them up to the farm here, we might be in business. Although, wow, auto detected all these fields already. Why are you on the list? Let me just see. I'm kind of not feeling it. Why those are not being picked up. And we got one out there. Actually, I'm just going to turn the auto detect off and redo these. We'll do these here. Kind of put one there, one there, one there, couple there, and then work out from a ring like this. I mean, it won't be 100% efficient, but just something like that. And then hopefully that will get all this working later on. Now, let's say population-wise, we're running at just under 56,000 at the moment. And as far as I know, we've got, what's the average loyalty now? We've got an average loyalty of 62%. But the happiness is kind of stuck around 75%. And I think the reason for that is that we've now reached that plateau where to get the happiness higher, and so we've either got to start putting more alcohol into our towns or getting personal cars. And I'm not quite ready yet to go for personal cars. But though looking at this, let me just see, these guys getting access to alcohol. Let me just see. See, if you got, these guys have got access to alcohol. Now, if I come down to here, these got access to some alcohol. I don't think the alcohol is really having that big an impact at the moment. And of course, if we come down to here, there's no pubs at all in here. So it looks like if you provide all the basics and more importantly, the electronics here, you can get to an alcohol base, or not an alcohol base, sorry, a happiness base of about 70%. But if we go up to Stilton, what you'll see here is, because we've got a pub in this area, what you'll see is that even with a little bit of alcohol and a lot more electronics, you can still get to 84%. So, and more importantly, let's look at the productivity in this area. Let me just see. Quality of flats. Let's just go to over here actually. So we're getting an average productivity across our whole population of 91%. So if you think about it, we've got 75% happiness, we've got 62% loyalty, and we're getting 91% productivity, which is pretty comparable to the game before the Crime and Justice update came out. So you can so you can probably pose the question about whether it's really necessary to get your happiness to 100% anymore, even loyalty to 100%. If you can get the happiness, and as I say, to 75% and your government loyalty to 62%, you've got a fairly well functioning economy. So I think from that premise, I don't think you really need to spread piles and piles of alcohol all across the map just to keep, you know, everybody boozed up, just to get that final 10% productivity. And if you build your economy in a corresponding way, and what I mean by that is that you've got the capacity to provide everything your economy needs, it should be okay. At the moment, my steel industry is a little bit OP at the moment, but I'm not worrying too much about that. I just want to check, make sure this is the this train here waiting, because the moment our steel mills are kind of fluctuating in and out as the steel has been taken away. We've got, this is now working at, I think we could push you to 150 now. I've got a little bit of unemployment in this area. We could probably start thinking a little bit more about getting some more workers into here, but at the same time I'm not overly kind of worried about buying making the vehicles just yet, because well, I think that's just like icing on the cake. So we're now on the 26th of November. I don't really want to run into December so the fields disappear. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause, and we're going to get on the food monitor resources. So most of the fields here have been harvested. We got one here that's nearly finished. You're finished. So this farm, in fact, so this farm is working pretty good, and we haven't completely filled the silos up, which is exactly what I wanted to see. And that means that this biofuel plant is probably just tipping the balance to consume some of those crops. Up here, looks like we've actually finished this area, and we're about 1,000 down now, so that's pretty good. This one doesn't look quite so good, I think. Yeah, but this one's still not completely full, so I'd say that this farm has probably got too many fields in it. Which farm are you assigned to? Oops, lost my cursor. Where's my cursor gone? Yeah, that one's actually working to this one. Okay. So that's not 100% full anymore, which is good. And nor's this one. And again, we still got a little bit of crops. Oh, 21 tons. So this site, this farm isn't working quite as efficiently as it should be. Although we've still got a few more days to pull in the odd little bits of crops that are around. We've got 24 tons there. Got two fields which are still being harvested. So we might get a little bit extra in there. And then up here, this one looks like this one's actually done the job completely. And it's got completely full. And it looks like we've actually got trucks sat here unloading. Now that's an interesting observation, because I wonder if this fills up and you've got trucks coming into here, that what the trucks do is they effectively sit in here until such time as the crops are taken away. I'm just trying to see if I can, because that truck's just picked up 12 tons. This is still kept full. Yeah, I think that's what's actually happening, isn't it? And I think this is what you need to think about. If you've got a farm set up like this, where you have trucks unloading within the farm to go to a silo, what you need to do is make sure that the silo doesn't fill up during the harvest season, because you see this truck's just coming in. And he's going to, right, this guy's, yep, you can see as this truck's loading, that truck there is unloading. And I'm just wondering now whether these guys have, I mean, it's all right at the end of the season, because I think those trucks probably won't go out again. But if that happens in the middle of the season, what you're effectively doing is tying your harvesting to your ability to ship the crops out. So that is quite interesting. Sorry about this. But I can't see. I think we've got 10 tons on that one field left now, waiting to be picked up. So we may lose about 10 tons on the trucks here. If you hear a humming in the background, it's my wife has suddenly just decided to do some vacuuming. But she's probably not aware that I'm currently recording, because I'm not recording this at what you could call my normal recording time. So I can't go and complain, because as I normally record very early in the morning while she's still in bed actually, and then this time of the day is the day I normally do my real life job, and also, if necessary, the editing and rendering for the videos to be published the next day. That's the way it goes. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I don't think I really need to add some extra capacity now to consume the crops. I think we're getting it reasonably in balance. The one thing I will want to check is we got this office here, and I just want to check. Oh, these guys are picking up from here. Where are you going to take this? I must admit, I've completely forgotten about this food factory up here. So we've got production of 10 tons there, and then we've got our main food here. You're producing 20, so that's producing 30 tons. This is full, and then what we've also got is an option here, produce another 6 tons should we need it. So that should buy us the time to get the actual food town up and running properly. I'm quite happy about that. Oh, I've forgotten all about this silo as well. So this silo's virtually full as well. We've got plenty of food and clothes in there. I'm hoping that we're not going to get any major problems with food during the winter. That's always one of my great concerns. Let's just take a quick look actually. I suppose what I'm doing now in this video is giving you guys a bit of an insight to the paranoia that I normally exercise when I go through the winter, because I just need to do. So what we got in here, we got 12 tons of food in here. It's not brilliant, but we should be okay. How much meat here? The meat supply is going down a little bit. And then, of course, one area where we might get a problem is, oh no, you've got 14 tons of food in there. You've got 25 tons of food in there, so you're good. Yeah, this is the problem farm. I think this farm's just got too many fields. And I think the problem with the trucks coming over here, and of course, yeah, I think the problem is the trucks coming over to here. Yeah, you can see this guy here, which distribution office are you working on? Actually, you could probably do with another couple of extra trucks, isn't it? Because the problem is he's picking up from this field, but he's trying to put stuff into here, but there's still space there. So, as I say, maybe we need a couple of extra cupboard holes on there. That's something for the crew to work out. Anyway, let's just get back to doing the food check. We've got 9.6. We got 3.9. I think that should be enough here. The other problem I've had here in Foodville was a little bit of chronic unemployment, and part of that was down to the fact that I hadn't got all these buildings up fully functional. So there's a possibility that if we may need to get either some more buses, I'm kind of wondering whether I need we've got guys here, and I'm just wondering whether we need to get more workers out to this area, try and get this going a little bit more efficiently. Let's just have a look here. I mean, we've got quite a lot of meat here, but I think we could probably get some more industry in here. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'm just going to go over to Ollerton. And Ollerton's got quite a big unemployment problem as well. I kind of think it's down to the fact that I didn't design this very well. And we got a bit of a bus pickup point here. I'm wondering, and we get quite a lot of people queuing here. So I'm kind of wondering if I can put a platform here, because I think let's just take another look at this. A lot of the unemployment is concentrated in this area. So if I could get a bus platform or something, say tucked on this corner, what we might be able to do is pull in some workers from here and send them out to the other factories. I mean, it's brilliant to kind of get it. Cannot build due to infrastructure. I don't really want it that side because we already got that bus stop there. Maybe I could get this kind of in, say, like that. Trying to create a little bit of a like a bus lay-by area here. Traffic jam. Got a pretty good idea where that traffic jam is. And I think we're just going to use the helicopter guys to then we'll grab these guys here. It's been picked up. And then what we could do then is use this as a bus pickup point to, because I don't have full employment in this area. So we could get a few more workers out here, especially to the prefab factory, although at the moment we can't do much with the prefab factory. So looks like the train is coming through here. Of course, the final check is over here. We'll just take a quick look at. Now the food situation here should be absolutely rock hot solid, because we're actually importing the food at the moment. Happiness is okay. Loyalty is 70%. Wow. Now I think I'm not going to get the loyalty much higher until such time as I start getting private vehicles into my towns, but that will come eventually. We've got fuel's good here. We've got a couple of hotels here, but I'm not sure that. Well, they just reached the edge there. Let's just see. Tourists unable to get electronics. How much money am I making from tourism? Look back to. You see how much money I spent. Whoops. Let's see how much money I'm kind of making from tourism at the moment. Oops, wrong one. So we're probably making about 100,000. Well, we're making. Wow. Okay. Still importing. The big one is electronics and chemicals now. We're importing a little bit of food because I'm still importing the food to here. It's just more cost effective to do it that way. I know I'm kind of overloading my helicopter crews, but part of me says let's just get another hotel in online. See if we can get more workers in there. I think it's now time to go over and see what my rail network is doing. What I'm trying to do at the moment is avoid buying too many more vehicles just at the moment, because I'm trying to save up a little bit and I'm got lost on the map again. See, we've got one field there that didn't quite finish on December. In fact, sorry for getting distracted, guys. I just want to do a quick check. Yeah, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4 fields here that lost crops. This is the one here. We do need to get a couple more of those into there. These guys will always stay perpetually busy because they're moving the crops somewhere else. So you've got 2 slots. You've got 2 slots. I think maybe they might need a bit more. We got lost these two fields weren't quite done. Again, wonder whether you're one vehicle back. I know I've been pinching vehicles from here. This is the one that moves the crops up to there, and this one's full. So maybe we do need to get our, what we call it, this guy working. Right, we got a couple of ones here, so we'll just pick you up, and I think what we'll do is we'll put one in there, and then we'll get another one there. I mean, in some ways it would be quite an interesting experiment just to keep pushing this up to see whether that actually has an impact on the collection process, although personally I don't think it is. I think this one's just got too many fields attached to it, and they're all large fields. We've got a couple of small fields there. And I have to admit, if I got I mean, I'll be honest, if we've got a big flat area, I think this is probably by far the best setup, is just to have the farm as an integrated whole rather than having separate distribution offices. I think it's tidier as well. Anyway, let's just get back to what I was looking at. Let's just see. You've just got all three jobs that are still being done. You're working away quite nicely. Get up and let's make sure that this is the one that's having the highest turnover jobs at the moment, because he's kind of doing odds and ends. Yeah, back to 2 again. And I can always guarantee that these are the ones that are doing the big. Oh no. Okay. So you're doing that. When's this one then? You're working into there. So what is up with a train? Oh, I've lost the track. I'm a bit worried about. I understand that, but what's going on here? Let me just check this. Maybe there's a gap in the track here. Oh, there is. Look at that. Get this guy to come out and fill these little gaps in. I want to check this bit here. We need to do the lines into here. We're still building this road here. Hilton Road Crew. What's up with? I think the problem is at the moment is the distance and getting out to there. We've done that bit there. We need to do this bit's already done all, and this bit's not finished. So we've still got quite a lot of track to lay out to here. And I mean, I put all these sidings in, but to be honest, oops, bit naughty. I built that bit, but that bit is not quite finished, and we built nothing here. So probably the easiest way to do this is just to take that out. There's a section where just put you back in there. I don't think any of this has been built yet, so that's okay. So I'm glad I found that problem there. Yeah, what I want to do is possibly export a little bit of steel to NATO, more for, you could say, completeness purposes, so that I can get a little bit of income from NATO, just to see how, if I could, so we could do simply so that we can do a few things with, say, NATO vehicles, which involve dollars. Actually, we got this track, this thing here. We could export some. It's actually part built. Is that part built all the way? Because I didn't think this was. Is yeah. I mean, I put this line in mainly for when we got the nuclear power plant. In fact, I haven't checked the power overlay for a very long time. Let's see. You're green. You're green. Do we have any red spots? Green, 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 green. This is a little bit overloaded. So we can't really export power until got there. I'd guess that what's happening is that, yeah, we're getting 5 megawatts drawing into here to the steel mills. Because the high tension pickups from here are coming off this one. So we've got to be a little bit careful now. Yeah, this guy is going up to 17. But this one is getting a little bit overloaded. That's something that's good to know that is. We may, could we actually? Probably if I put a second power station in here, we've only got one grid connection out of here. It's running at 18 megawatts, which is, as far as I know, if I just pause and we take a look at game. We come look at the power station, what you'll see is that our circuit breaker is 23 megawatts. So the fact we're up to 7, which is just here, so we're not actually ready to blow the circuit breaker yet. Well, it means we're getting very close to the maximum, especially as the fact that what we've got drawing off of here, we go back to this area here, is we've got, this is pretty overloaded, and this is only an 18 megawatt power line here. So what we're drawing at the moment is almost the maximum wattage from here. What I really should do, I don't know if I can work it out. Let me just see. So we got another power takeoff there. I'm not sure that we've got a line there. What's the draw from here? This is 9. Yeah, I think what I should do really, let's see if we can actually do this. It's gonna be a little bit messy. If I could get that. Haha. Not gonna go through there, is it? P3 on it. Oh. I say apologies for this. It's going to be a little bit of a dog's dinner. It's not going to work through there, is it? Just cancel that. Do I have another power takeoff up here? Let me just see. No. This one's already four-way connected. Should have taken that one off of that one, shouldn't I? Okay, let me just see if I can get you to there. It's going to be a little bit around the houses. If I could get, wait, I don't think I can come from there. Kind of, yeah, it's terrible. Nah. Let's try going the other way. The trouble is we're gonna have to go out over those power cables. We could get to about there. No. Get there. I think that's connected. Just accept that. Get these guys working on this one. Just, I mean, it doesn't have any work to do anyway, so apologies that it's such a mess. I think what we could do then is, if I can get this in from this point of view, we could break this line here, and what that will do is that it should take the pressure off of this terminal here, because this is going to run at red all the time now. So yeah, so it's just gonna have to look pretty awful, but that's probably a pretty good example of how not to just I think that's probably a pretty good example of how not to lay out your power supply system. Let's check. Got a couple in the yellow. This is nice and green. See over here. Yeah, we got some red here because these are wind turbines, but this is well in the green. One thing we are going to need to do is pay attention to the power supply out here, because what I would like to do is put in a new town up there. And at the moment we've got a lot of power going through here. At the moment this is all green, but let's just have a look at this substation here. Yeah, well, he's only drawn about 1 megawatt, which is good. But once we get our new town over here, which is going to be for chemical production, electronics, and what I want to do is get in the oil import, which will come in from the other side. And anyway, I'm kind of all that. There was, well, we finished our shopping mall here, so we can, what we can do, probably won't do it straight away because we don't have the road connection here yet, but eventually we'll start getting the food in here to fill in the rest of what's going on up here. I've got the game on pause, which doesn't help him very much. Now, the one thing I do want to do, and I think this is going to be what we're going to need to do to wind the video up, is I've realised that my original plan for putting a road out here has been forgotten. So we're going to need to get a road into... My instinct is to come in about here because we got a power line there. So if I could get a road out through here, I'm going to try and keep it close to the road. Not the road, sorry, the power lines. So if I can, should we go close to the rail track here? Do something like that. It means we can use this space for something should we need it. In fact, I think we're... And then what we got to do is get across here, bridge. I think we're trying to use the old dodge of raising the train here. No, can't. Okay, we're gonna have to do it with road bridges because we're just too far away from the edge here. So yeah. Look at that. Again, it's not gonna win many awards, but bridge there. You into there, and you can do it. Yes, look at that, great. What that will mean is that we can send food by truck down into here once this new town gets built. It will also provide a way that we can provide support and ship goods in. because eventually the construction offices over here will probably be contributing to the construction of this area. So we do need that road line in. Problem now is, how are we going to build that? Everything is just so far. Oh, we got what are these guys doing? They're probably not doing very much. What roads are you building? A whole load of roads here. I think you've been allocated roads up here. Never seen that before. I didn't even think that was possible. Is that because this is, if you want electro components and all that, what you do is you get a crane up here. I think part of the problem we got here is I think it's workforce. But what we will do is allocate these guys to, yeah, get you working on that road. It's going to take a long time to get that in, and we go all the way over to Ollerton. We've got the other road crew here. Follow the road out. You can work on, not that bit, wrong bit of bridge, and you can work out there. We've got another tower bridge here as well. I think the problem is it just takes such a long time to haul the thing up. I'm really starting to think that maybe I need another helicopter construction crew, but I'm just wondering where would I build it. Let me just see. Actually, I can't remember if I've got all the helicopters and associated stuff here. I've got one spare slot here. What are you guys working? I want to check where you are. Yeah, you're picking up bricks from there. Concrete plant, asphalt, gravel. I'm just wondering if I go there. Let me just get up to over here. I think what I might do is we'll put the helicopter crews for asphalt on there. They're increasingly working out in this area, so they might as well pick up from this area as well. What I should do really is get some, yeah, I think what I need to think about is putting in a large open store with a helicopter connection. Possibly, can't really put it there, but maybe, well, of course it's got to be part on the rail network, isn't it? What I'm thinking about is if I can get the, say like this, oh no, that's not that. If I can get an open store connected to a helicopter in the center of the map, and then what I can do then is build a helicopter construction office near it, which will then actually help pick up the, or should speed up the process of building. That's the idea. Actually, I just realized I'm playing slow. So what I will do though is I'm just going to very quickly find it. I just want to make sure these guys are going to be doing exactly the same. Asphalt, yeah, what we're going to do is push these guys also onto up here. We've done this a long time ago, and that might just speed the process up a little bit. This is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. I didn't actually get round to doing what I wanted to do in this video, which was a bit more planning in our new town, and possibly started to take a look at Nuclear City. But as you probably realise, I got a bit distracted with solving our power problems. But until next time, whatever you do, Enjoy your gaming.